Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to show number 104. Like 104 degree Fahrenheit temperature. This is killing. And this is important to note because you need to pay attention to this show and you need to share it far and wide. You need to make this common. You need to make this go viral. Your very existence, your survival, our survival may depend upon it. And I thought I knew where this was at in the Bible. And I figured it was in the book of Isaiah. I still think it's somewhere there. And then I used the Strong's Concordance, and my eyes this morning went immediately to Jeremiah. Isaiah had the greatest vision of any prophet. Or did he? I think Jeremiah was more important than Isaiah in many ways. Jeremiah prepared the way for the future. He planted in the new world. He came over here to the Americas. Yes, that was his mission. To plant was the last part of Jeremiah's mission as a prophet. He was to tear down. He was to encourage the Israelites to plant gardens, to marry, to have children in their captivity in the land of the Medes, between the Medes and Assyria, south of the Caucasus. So we're going to be covering the nuclear war that is prophesied in the Bible and very clearly written. And first of all, I apologize for being inadequate to do this. However, somebody else did the study for us. And they did it and posted it 12 years ago on YouTube, and they updated it 3 months ago. Rex, brother, you made a mistake. You're in error. It was not prophesied 2,500 years ago. My dear brother, it was more than 3,000 years ago. That's the only error I can find in there, but you better own up to it. And I need your help. I want you to refer people to my channel. I want you to buy them my Bibles. And I'm going to be sending people over to your sites. So here's what I got for you on YouTube. Nuclear war prophecy hidden in the Bible 2,500 years ago. Rex Reviews at Tibosaurus Rex. It was posted 3 months ago. I think you better see it. I don't need to do this study for you. He did the study a long time ago. And those are the ones that I've watched. Oh, come on. This mouse and I do not get along. Okay, it actually changed and I didn't catch it. Here we have 12 years ago, nuclear war prophecy revealed. Will blow your mind, part 2 of 3. 3 parts in here by him. 12 years ago, he did a word study, and it's in depth, and you better read it, because you will be amazed. You will be blown away. Now, I'm going to one passage in Jeremiah that informs us. It informs me anyway. Leave a comment down below as to whether or not you think this is true, this is accurate. This is important. Why? Because it's my belief that also in the Bible is the other path, the better road to take, the path of correcting ourselves, straightening ourselves up, repenting, returning to Yahweh. And when we do that in significant numbers, Yahweh repents of what he planned for us. But the evil ones know who they are, they know who we are, and they know exactly what they're doing. And in case you're wondering, that brilliant president, Barack Hussein Obama, set this whole thing up to take America down with nukes. Yes, he took away our deterrence and our self-defense, and that has not changed. Even your boy Trump did not change it. He failed. So we will lose. It's already scheduled up, so that's what's going to happen. Trump even went along with that, as far as I can tell. And believe me, Biden, your third term of Barack Obama, He wants to get you nuked as fast as he can because he doesn't want to go to prison for his shenanigans over in the Ukraine or China. He's the #1 shakedown artist in the world. He has shaken down so many countries and so many governments and robbed so many peoples. Wow, I guess we should be proud to have such an accomplished shakedown man in the office of the presidency. And those jackasses in D.C. still tolerate him? So I want you to go and watch these videos by Rex Tibosaurus, and I want you to leave a message from me and thank him from me, from Dr. Kent, for providing this in-depth Bible study. I would not have done it. I'm so glad he did it. He did a really good job. I find nothing wrong with it except he got the year wrong. It was much more than 2,500 years ago. So here we go, Jeremiah 50. And we are using our proper name version of the King James Bible. And we're going to follow that with the NIV as well. Verse 40, as God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, says Yahweh, shall no man inhabit there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein. This is regarding Babylon. How did Yahweh destroy Sodom and Gomorrah? Hellfire and brimstone. Rex came up with the term sacrificial fire. That's an important term. Now we have found the ruins of Sodom, and excavated it down. And when the people there, and it was about at least 10 years ago, maybe 20, somewhere in that previous decade, when the folks got down, the crew got down to the layer of destruction, they were silent. They were shocked. And they documented every injury to every body as if it was a crime scene, as if it was a forensic scene. So they tallied that all up. The bodies were all oriented away from the blast zone. And in that layer, they found a crystal. It was not a small crystal. It's a pretty good sized stone. And they took it into Sandia Labs in New Mexico, asking them, can you identify this for us? We want to know what it is. And Sandia Labs demanded to know, where did you get this? This only is found at nuclear blast sites. Yes, folks, Yahweh used nukes on Sodom, Gomorrah, and their neighbors. This is the future for Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0. And the evil ones know exactly where they're guiding us, know exactly what the playbook is, if you will. And they're abiding by it. They're fulfilling the word of Yahweh in their test of us and takedown of us. It was engineered by that genius of Barack Obama. And what was his most famous thing? Most famous recommendation, if you will? Most famous statement, which I take as a recommendation? He criticized the heartland of America because they cling to their guns and their Bibles. You folks may have your guns, but they're not going to do you a damn bit of good. Yes, you'll use them in self-defense, and you are going to use them, believe me. And the Lord, Yahweh, will bless self-defense. But the Lord Yahweh also gave you this beast system. Why? To correct himself. And Barry Soetoro, who changed his name to Barack Obama, he's one of the name changers, folks. I think that they took that name right out of the Bible. Because Yahweh says, I shall use my Barak upon those who hate me. I will use my Barak upon mine enemies. And he has done that. And Barak has set this up with some wicked genius. Very wicked genius. As a matter of fact, it reminds me of what they said in the movies that bothered me when I was a little boy. In the movies, they always said that they marveled at the wisdom, at the mastermind. They marveled at him and what he came up with. They were just blown away by it. The generals were, because they couldn't lose. No matter what, they could not lose. And that little phrase stood out to me, and I took it to heart. And basically, they came up with a really incredible way to wage war so that they would not be losing World War II. Oh, hell no. They've taken over their enemy from within. Henry Kissinger helped with that. As God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah with nukes and the neighbor cities with nuclear weapons, says Yahweh, so it will be with Babylon. Babylon back then wasn't destroyed with nukes. This is what's coming to us. This is what we've got coming to us, folks. This is what we've earned. Why? We've made the number one error in the Bible. There's three great major classifications of sin that you will see going through as a theme throughout the Bible into the New Testament. And the first one is called the error of Balaam. It is a sin of sexual nature. However, if you really want to understand the character of the people of Sodom, then go get the book that's referred to several times here in the text of the Bible. And that's called the book of Jasher. Jashur. I think I got that right. Could be ER. That book is wonderfully written. It's crafted in the same style as the book of Genesis. So if you like reading Genesis, you're going to love the book of Jasher. The prophet Jasher was marvelous. Of course, most of you listening to this channel already know there was no such thing as the prophet Jasher. It's kind of an inside joke. It means the book of the upright. The upright. If you read that, you will see the horrible games that the people of Sodom played upon visitors and people that showed up within their gates at night, and what they did, the horrible tortures that they did to other people. They were of terrible character, just absolutely horrible, and they deserved getting nuked the way they did. And yes, Lot worked as a judge there, and he was escorted out of the place. And remember, his wife turned around and looked back, and the angels told him, don't look back. She looked back and turned to a pillar of salt. As a result of that, and the trauma from seeing the nuclear weapons go off like that so close, Lot's two daughters came to the conclusion that they weren't going to be able to have children because there was no other man around, just their father. So that what did they do? They get their father Lot drunk, and one of them sleeps with him the first night, and then the second night the other one sleeps with him, and they give birth to two people that have caused the Israelites trouble ever since, even to this day. Read the Bible. Do your own research. But get this out to other people. This entire chapter is important. Okay? It is very important. The whole chapter against Babylon. And we live today in the beast system, the Babylonian system. And it's not just America. It's the entire world today. They have had a worldwide government for quite a while. They just keep that bullshit going on the conservative talk radios mostly to make you think that you're independent, and you aren't. To make you think that you're free, and you're not. We're all enslaved by their money system, by the 14th Amendment, which has to go by the wayside. And yes, I'm going to run for president. I'm going to make a big deal of it. Don't care if I win or not. I prefer not to have the job in many ways. But if it lands my way, I got the perfect vice president already lined up. He doesn't know it yet. But he will take the shot. He will take it. Why? Because he can change the country from the seat of the vice president more effectively than the president can do any changes. The guy is a genius. I knew he was bright years ago when we met each other. Okay, a little odd, but wonderful, wonderful. I trust him entirely. Oh, in case you're wondering, if I pass away in office, he'd make an excellent president. I just say, let the guy go after the job he wants to do, taking care of the public policy and setting these laws straight. as vice president than let him have the presidency for sure. He'll keep my ass in line and straight. He knows better than I do. Why do I want to hire somebody that knows better than I do and risk them usurping my power? Because I don't mind that. I don't mind stepping aside for a better man than myself to lead. I'm just calling for the charge. I want to make this a nation of 5% Bible readers. I want to sell 1 million Bibles. I need you to read this chapter on your own. I'm not going to go any further with it. I'm going to try to keep these things short because I'm bored. I can't stand watching myself. I mean, I like the guy enough, and he's got good stuff to say, but it's just too doggone pedestrian for me. It doesn't keep my interest. So if you speed up this video to 1.25%, I won't be offended at all. If you go 1.5% and can still keep up with it, I'm all for it. But you need to understand that this is in the Bible from more than 3,000 years ago, Rex. You made a mistake, my big brother. That's all right. We'll forgive you on that one. Oh, I said I was going to go to the New International Version. This version is translated word for word better than the King James. The King James actually has the spirit better. They cover the idioms. The idiomatic translation is much more accurate in the King James. And so this does have a contribution to it, but you got to understand that the committees behind this Bible were not exactly kosher. They weren't exactly straight ahead people. They had agendas in them, and so it was kind of screwed up. So let's go to since this is the vengeance of the Lord, take vengeance on her. Do to her as she's done to others. When those folks at Bilderberg about a decade ago heard the announcement that they were going to take down America altogether, they cheered. And one person said, wall them in. Let's not let them out so they can do their mischief again. That's your wall for you. That's why the wall is there. Just like in Berlin, they put the wall up. They claimed to keep people out. No, it was to keep people in. You don't need a wall on that southern border. If I'm president, we're going to war with Mexico pretty much immediately. We're going to send down the special forces, and we're going to take out all of that bullshit down there with prejudice. And when those boys are finished, ain't too many girls in those forces, I wouldn't allow them to do it anyway. I wouldn't. Sorry. Call me sexist, whatever you want, but I'm not going to send them out there doing that job. I want real men out there doing it as fast and efficiently as possible. And they're going to go in there and going to clean that country up. And then after that, I want the army to go down. I'll send the army down to occupy the place and administer justice to it. And help with developing their resources. It's going to be a really rich nation. It's going to rival ours easily. They've got, my God, they've got more of the silver than in the world. We got the gold, though. So, what can I say? I think that I want to use the entire nation as a buffer zone. And for the prices, as an extraction of the price for their frauding us of all of our services up here, I want to take land from Arizona straight across. Arizona will have a port city that way, and that'll be important. I also want to build pipelines straight up in the middle of Mexico, right up to Yuma, where we'll have a refinery. There's nothing wrong with using God's gifts to us. And oil is a gift. It is not a fossil fuel. That's part of the brainwashing. It is a mineral. It is an insulator for the earth. And the earth makes a lot of it. Quite often, all the time, and during magnetic excursions in particular, the earth loads up on it and makes it out of self-defense. It has to insulate itself from the plasma attacks of the sun. We'll get into that another time. Okay, 50. Where is that verse again? 50. Verse 40, as God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, along with their neighboring towns, declares the Lord. He's going to nuke us. He's going to nuke them. There's going to be a nuclear exchange on this whole doggone planet. And America is going to get hit the hardest because of the policies of the man of lawlessness, Barack Insane Obama, who was put into place by Yahweh himself for the purposes of correcting us. And if we don't turn to Yahweh, that's what we're going to get. And by the way, not only is there nuclear war in the Bible, there's biological war in the Bible. In the book of Zechariah, go look it up and read it for yourself. It covers both nuclear and biologicals there. And that's what they're working on in those labs around the world. They're working on a weaponized version of smallpox. People are going to pray to die. It's going to be so agonizing. But we can stop it all. We can stop it in its tracks. That's written here in the Bible as well. It's another path for us. Don't dwell on the evil in here. Don't major in the evil. Go after the good stuff, the blessings. I was going to say the gold, but, we're going to be arguing and fighting over gold to the point where we throw it out in the streets at some point. That's in here too. So, footnote on verse 40. Repeated almost verbatim from 49:18. Okay, let's go to 49:18. I don't really have much more for you today. This is what I want. This is what I wanted to get off yesterday. But I fell asleep last night and I slept past sunrise. As Sodom and Gomorrah were overthrown along with their neighboring towns, says the Lord. So no one will live there and no man will dwell in it. It means we're going to get nuked. It's a double witness in the Bible. It's in there twice. It means pay attention to this. Yahweh wants us to learn this and know this. Go below, tap on the link, help somebody out, get them a Bible. Do me a favor. Get a hold of the publisher, or email or phone call, and put your name on the list for a proper name version of the Apocrypha. We need those books. We need that now. Those have been hidden long enough. I'm looking at possibly sidelining my own needs to fund it myself. I don't have the money for it, I don't think, but who knows? I want to get that out there. And believe me, we have to take control of ourselves first. And we have to take control of this matter to get our nation back and to save it. Because we've already lost the war, and to a large extent. America has been totally compromised. The United States of America is one of the most evil things on the planet today. They worship the God of war. That's who their God is. It's not Creator Father Yahweh. You think I'm kidding? Go to your state capital. Look at the Capitol building. Look at what's on top of the dome. Tell me what's up there. Now, I'm going to tell you it's not going to be the angel Moroni. It's going to be a different character. But the angel Moroni's got some quirks to it. I'll tell you about that another time. All of these religions are headed up, according to Pastor Jerry Wickey, by fallen angels. And if you don't believe me, then I direct you to the capital of the New World Order, a most modern capital city with the most amazing architecture on the earth. And their central government building is set up to the sun god Apollo. And underneath it is a giant round table. And there's a chair in each position around that table for each of the major religious organizations. Every one of them is all hooked into the beast system. Every one of these major religions is part of the beast system. There isn't one that's better than the other. The Bible, it doesn't have a seat at that table. Yahweh bless. If you want to save this republic, elect me president. If you want to really save this republic, do your part. Sit on your butt and read your Bibles and get to know his name. Get to know his son's name. Because they did a fraud on that too. His name was never Jesus. There's no saving in the name of Jesus. His name is Yahshua. You need to learn these things. You need to correct your brothers and sisters, however gently, so that they know what the truth is. And we can't let bygones be bygones and let things slide. We have to correct them. And if they're not going to be corrected, then leave them alone. But correct them several times. Give them a chance. I think that the only reason I've become accustomed to this name is because of this new Bible. And I'm rather proud of it. I mean, in order to abide by the first commandment, don't you have to know his name? Wouldn't you think you would want to know his name if that's what the first commandment is? Yahweh is going to bless our republic once again. You need to join with me. We've got to stop this coming Holocaust, the real one, in which they toast most of us. They want to kill us. Our own government has turned against us. It's a police state. They were able to execute it in 1913 with the creation of the Federal Reserve System, the Anti-Defamation League, and above all, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, the police state. Yahweh bless. Oh boy, dare I ask, like my videos, say something down below. Help me overcome the algorithms. Subscribe. I've almost got 100 subscribers on this channel. Folks, let's get this show started. Over and out.